All right, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 4. Yeah, I mean, we watched season 4 weeks ago now. We didn't watch it in one sitting or anything, but we finished it probably 3, 4 weeks ago. It's been a while
Yeah.
since we finished this. But October and September were so hectic. I mean, the amount of reviews that we and myself have done alone is just absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, I've probably done 50 in the last few weeks. So yeah, that's why there's been a delay. You know, but it is what it is. Excuses, excuses. Yeah, this is the college years. We're past halfway. They're out of high school. They're off on their own. We are in Sunnydale College. The city is both tiny and huge at the same time.
It's supposed to be like UC Sunnydale, like so it's like the University of California, like that town location.
But it's in Sunnydale though.
Yeah.
Like a small town doesn't have
They
a
have
UC anything.
5+ graveyards.
Right.
We always talk about like how many graveyards they have.
Well, I'd also pointed out recently in maybe season 5, I was like, Buffy really sucks at her job because every time she goes to the graveyard, there's like 4 or 5 vampires like coming out of the graves, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Buffy, how did you let so many people die every fucking day in this town?
Right.
But you're slaying. Now, to be fair, we had talked about how the Hellmouth is like a magnet for demons.
Yes.
So like they're all drawn there. So while there may be vampires in the graveyard, they might be from all around the world and have been changed all around the world and brought there. So not everyone who has died is from Sunnydale specifically, but the ones that are coming out of the graves, those are definitely ones that died in Sunnydale.
Yeah.
And when we see her, going to them and then they come out of the graves, I'm like, there's another one you failed.
Yeah.
There's another person. There's another one. But it's tough. I mean, there's lots of them, and she can only protect so many. But I feel like they don't ever really discuss that. Like, she doesn't feel like a failure at all that there's so many dead people in Sunnydale.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but with as much death as there is, I would move. I don't know why any human would still live there.
Yeah.
After all of what's that went down. How many times has the Bronze been attacked and
God.
destroyed?
The owners of the Bronze.
The high school was blown up, was attacked by a fucking
How many
snake
times
monster.
the magic shop gets like
The owner
the
gets
owners
killed.
get killed and like they get raided or whatever. Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of bonkers.
it's ridiculous, right? And I know there's supposed to be some kind of almost denial charm of sorts that happens to people where they kind of address that in the first season.
They can kind of like look the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that you only can extend that so far for so long before people are like, even though I can justify what's going on, it's not a vampire, it's whatever. Even if it was just hoodlums,
Yeah.
you're not gonna fucking live in a like a small quaint town. They don't live in like an area where they're super poor and there's a lot of like systemic oppression that's keeping them down and keeping them there, and they feel like they don't have a chance. These are like middle class Americans who have all the right to move. Most of them are transplants. They'd be gone.
Yeah.
They would be fucking history from that town.
Yeah.
And I mean, just in season, what was it, 3 last season, they were talking about how this was the reason they give out the award to Buffy is because this is the lowest death count this high school's ever had, and it's like when kids are dying, especially.
Well, and I love that
that's
scene
when
too
parents
because
are
they're like
I'm out.
they talk about it like we don't talk about it is what they say, which is a similar thing to when Buffy's mom is all like, what is it? Moms Against,
Oh yeah.
whatever. The like witchcraft episode. Anyway, but yeah, this season, like, it literally starts out with like a gang of college-age vampires that are roaming the campus, like picking off freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, this first episode, we get the young Pedro Pascal.
Which is crazy, and he gets turned into a vampire immediately. Which is really sad, but going with that, they leave, like, these notes, like, their whole thing is that they kill the freshmen, and then they leave a note being like, I couldn't handle the stress of college, and then they just, like, bounce and steal all their stuff. Right? But it's like, the parents have got to be like, okay, like, even though they're 18, like, they just left. Like, I don't know where they are. They just, like, disappear. And this has to happen often enough.
Just adds to it, right? You got kids disappearing. You got kids dying. You got creatures running.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Amok, yeah. Yeah, you're right, for sure. It's like, put it on top of everything else. Yeah, you know, I will say this. While this season has some very strong highs, Hush being, you know, kind of the standout, right? It might be the best episode of the whole freaking show. This is my least favorite season we've watched. And it's I you know, plant that pretty much primarily on the shoulders of the Initiative.
Yeah.
The whole, like, military base thing is just so stupid to me, and I don't like any of that stuff. That's when it starts to feel a little too X-Files-y. Which I love X-Files, but I don't love that part of X-Files.
If you were watching any of our X-Files reviews, we always talked about how much we hated the overarching, like, military shadow government thing that they had going on, which feels very inevitable in a show like X-Files. But I have a lot of nostalgia for this season, because this was one that I actually owned on DVD. I owned, I believe, season 4, 5, and 6 on DVD, and I would put this on pretty often just to, like, watch, you know, in the background or whatever. I really, like, I loved the feeling of them going to college. Like, that's always what I thought, like, college was supposed to feel like, even though there's a lot of, like, crazy stuff happening. But yeah, like, I don't know, the aesthetic and the vibes and everything I was always really into. But I agree. I think that the Initiative stuff is definitely the weakest, like, part of the show so far, because it does make it kind of boring, honestly. But at the same time, the show still, like, you know, we're in season 5 now, but, like, the show continually makes callbacks to past episodes, past seasons, and that stays the same with the Initiative. Like, things that happen in this season regarding the Initiative, like, carry forward. Like, they're not just, like, forgotten. And I'll give it to them, like, it is a way to kind of make things a little different, too, because up until now, everything has been demons, magic, like, all very, like, mystical oriented, I'll say, with maybe a couple, like, little bits of, like, sci-fi-ish stuff, you know, with the stepfather and things like that. But overall, it's been pretty fantasy, I guess we could say. So I think having the Initiative is, like, you know, it's a change of pace, at least.
I don't fault it.
Also, sorry, it makes sense because we're talking about how the town of Sunnydale has so many fucking demons and, like, crazy things happening. Of course the government or somebody would be trying to study that phenomenon.
Sure.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Is I don't fault it conceptually.
Yeah.
I think that whole concept makes sense. I think that, you know, there's this high death rate and all of these anomalies and these stories that are coming out of there. Yes, the government would definitely want to go in and handle this stuff. That's all believable and makes sense. So I get it logically, I get it conceptually, but it just feels so dated. You know, maybe if I watched this if I went back now and watched it in 1999 with kind of how television felt and how I don't have any comparisons for, and I don't want to compare it to now because that's unfair, obviously. And the rest of Buffy, while certain things feel dated, right? Of course, we have much more advanced camera techniques and budgets and all sorts of things now that make things feel more cinematic and epic and exciting and whatever. There's a charm to it. I don't care. But the initiative stuff, like their stupid fucking base is one of the dumbest things ever. It's like an open Walmart.
No, you know what it is? It feels like an in-ground or an indoor pool.
That's what I thought.
That's been.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably what
it's like an old rec center or something.
Yes.
It's like a pool in the center.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense that they have this, like, I don't know, just this big open area that's, like, slightly, indented or whatever for them. That's like where they do a lot of their operations and stuff.
I don't know what
Super
the point of that is. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like they can't escape, but they're working on demons and monsters that could easily get out of that.
Well, and they also have like a whole nother area where they actually keep them, like the prison area. Yeah, I like some of the stuff that comes out of the initiatives. Like okay, obviously this season Buffy gets a new boyfriend. She gets Riley.
Before that, she gets kind of like played.
Yes,
and screws this guy one night stand.
Yeah.
And
Connor.
Is that his name?
Is that his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Now I'm like questioning.
Maybe I have no memory of this guy's name. You go ahead.
Or. Anyway, but yeah, she has this...
Parker,
sorry. It's Parker.
Good.
I don't know who Connor is. Yeah, like
some guy she had a one-night stand with,
Definitely not. But, yeah, Parker, sorry. She has a very, like, rough start to college because, like, I love the first episode so much because, she really is, like the description says, a fish out of water. Like, she is a smart girl, like, and you had said, like, she tests well because she handles pressure really well, because, like, in the last season, she gets, like, really great, like, SAT scores and stuff, and, anyway, Willow's all excited about college, and as, the overachiever academic that she is, she's, like, super prepared, she's got her classes all picked out, she's, like, at school super early to get registered for all these things, and Buffy gets lost, and then having this whole interaction where Oz is like, oh yeah, like, I'm totally overwhelmed, but then he, like, some guy comes up and is like, hey Oz, do you know where this place is? And he's like, oh yeah, it's over there past this thing, and he, like, knows exactly where he is because his band plays at the college often. So she just feels really out of place, and I feel like that plus the roommate situation that she deals with, where she has this really, like, kooky, weirdo roommate, who, of course, ends up being a demon, and then the thing that happens with Parker. Like, just the start of everything just feels like, of course, that's college. The confusion, the feeling out of your depth, the having to live with somebody that you don't like, and then having your heart get broken by a guy who's really just there to sleep with as many girls as possible.
Yeah.
Just as, like, the quintessential, like, college, like, bad college stuff.
She does get her revenge on him a few episodes later. I think in the beer episode, right?
Which is great.
I do like how, even though Buffy, as you said, tested well and all of that stuff, she is somewhat of a sheltered girl in that department, right? I think the sophistication of an angel dating some 240-year-old guy is, like, one of her only real, like, romantic relationships as a young woman, and then meeting some smooth-talking guy who's, like, so obvious. He's, like, the most obvious schemer ever, and I just love that. And now, to be fair, she is somewhat prepped for it, but I just love that Willow doesn't fall for it at all.
I love that. Yeah, when she confronts him, and because Buffy sleeps with Parker and she's all into him, and he's like, it's just about connection and blah 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 blah, and Buffy's like, yeah, like, that's what I want, because he's like a rebound for her. Like, Angel's like the love of her life, right?
Everything she needs to hear,
and she falls for it because Buffy is a romantic at the end of the day. And Although I think this experience is good for her because I think it kind of does harden her in a good way. But yeah, Willow's interaction where she's like leading him on so that he thinks that she's into it is
Funny
great.
stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah. What was I gonna say there? With Buffy,
We were talking about her testing well.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I was gonna say there. I had it, and then it's like
maybe it'll
one
come
second,
back.
it was gone.
She also gets like some pretty like, you know, these experiences with teachers where she like tries to go into this one class and the teacher like totally calls her out and is a complete asshole to her because she's like asking like somebody like, is it too late to still sign up? And he's just like a total asshole, and she you know, gets very like, she just gets, I don't want to say humbled because that's not really it, just defeated more about that kind of situation, because she's like, Buffy's in charge when it comes to slang and doing all these things, but in these like real world, like real life stuff, like she's just like everybody else in that regard, where you're like, yeah, she's not prepared for some things. And the fact that she gets worried that that Riley's mom, the what did they call her? Bitch face.
Yeah,
I forget.
like
Anyway, you know, that she's gonna yell at her in class and stuff. I like all of that stuff.
You know, plenty of noteworthy things here, but this is the season where, and I I do wonder how this would play in 2025, where everyone's fucking, you know, angry and you know, trying to rage over things and feeling like everything's an agenda and it's woke and it's, you know, whatever. I can't tell you how happy I am to say that I've never once in my life used the word woke, like, unironically. Never once. I never fell for that word. It is the most, like, pointless descriptor of all time as a complaint. So anyway, I just was thinking about that earlier today and just sort of fucking, like, anyway, moving on. This is the season where Willow goes gay.
Yeah, a lot happens with Willow here, obviously.
It's funny too because I think it's in season 5 when she's talking to Anya, because we're a little over halfway into season 5 now, so I apologize if you're trying to like watch this with us and you're like, I haven't gotten into season 5. This isn't like some big spoiler or anything, but Anya is like you know, kind of going at Willow in a way where she's, I think that's what happens. I'm pretty sure this is what happens.
When they're fighting over Xander?
Over Xander.
Yeah.
And she's like, that wouldn't happen. Hello, gay now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not gay.
Willow is
like,
100% bi.
Yes.
Like.
But they try, like.
But I think that
the only reason
supposed to be like.
The only reason I mention this is because, okay, we're halfway through season 5. Tara.
Yeah.
Tara's, I think, how they pronounce it.
Yeah.
I've always called her Tara, but it's Tara. Tara and her still have yet to have an on-screen kiss. All the way up here. And they've been dating for, you know, 20, 25 episodes at this point. Riley and Buffy are kissing and fucking every episode.
Oh my god, there's like a whole episode where they're like
literally
locked
fucking
in a room
the entire episode
and like having sex the entire time.
Yeah, we'll get there because that's actually an episode I remember like very vividly from when I watched this all the way back in the day. Anyway, what I'm trying to point out here is that this was like bold television,
right,
in 1999, right? And they could only push things so far, but I also think there was like a very limited understanding, and I don't think maybe the queer community was maybe consulted on this at all, because this is like such a basic understanding of homosexuality, where that's the vibe I got, I guess is what I'm getting at, is that like Willow was straight and now she's gay, right? Because she's like, hello, I'm gay now, and it's like, no, you're not.
I think,
like, you were fully into Oz,
I mean,
crazy into Xander.
She is gay.
And then all of a sudden she likes Tara, which is new to her. And she's like, now I'm gay. And it's that's not how that works.
She is gay because she's bi. So I think it's kind of semantics. But this is, like, definitely
No, because she specifically is like, you have nothing to worry about me and Xander.
Right.
I'm gay now, which means I no longer like men. I'm not a threat to Xander. Or to you and Xander.
Right, yeah. I think
it's like,
this is...
that's bad writing.
Definitely kind of the times where, like... Yeah, like, even though you said this was, like, pretty, maybe edgy television, I do wonder if there's some, like, ratings thing where they were not allowed to have them kiss on screen for a little while.
Oh, 100%.
Because that would be the only reason why I would assume that they wouldn't, like, full-on kiss. And then also, I feel like this is, like, a... I don't know if I'll say trope, but, like, a thing where if a woman... Like, women who were, like, with a man and then they realize that they're bisexual and they date a woman, it's always like, oh, they turned lesbian. Like, now they never want to be with men ever again or whatever. Which maybe some women do discover, like, oh, I'm actually, like, not attracted to men the way I thought I was. And that's totally valid and fair.
If she wants
but there's
to
also
have that
tons of women
conversation.
that are like, I still like men, but I'm with a woman now and I like women as well. So, I still think that Willow is a bi icon. I mean, she was one of the earlier, like, role models, I'll say, for me, like, to see, like, bisexual character on screen. And we still don't get nearly enough of that. We've gotten more and more. It's always exciting to see.
Rare.
I mean, any representation is good, but, like, bi men and women both, I feel, are
way less.
Yeah, I love seeing them represented in characters, whether it's in books or movies or whatever, because they do kind of get, like, sidelined sometimes with the, just with, like, representation and people kind of being like, like, for example, like, I'm a bi person, but I'm married to a man, so it's sort of like, oh, well, you still chose, like, heterosexual, but it's like, I very much am still bisexual, even though I'm with you and in a heterosexual relationship currently,
I just remember in the 90s when I was growing up as a kid, like, you could sleep with 100 chicks and you could kiss one dude. And your friends would be like, oh, so you're fag.
Awful.
And you're like, how does that math work out? What? Right?
Yeah.
Because, there was, like, that kind of notion at that time where it was like, somebody found out this guy who we knew had been with chicks, who was really into chicks, and then you found out that, like, he kissed a dude or something happened. And they're like, oh, so he's gay.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you not understand how this works?
Yeah.
So this just, I don't know. I guess when I heard that and I see how it's being represented in this show, I just feel like this is a very basic understanding to kind of cater to what people in that time period would think about it. It's like, oh, Willow's just gay now. She's just a lesbian.
I think the nuance is kind of left.
It's just gone.
Yeah, the nuance is left out for sure. But
anyway,
I like everything that happens with her in this season. I mean, she has, like, the stuff that goes on with her and Oz is, like, really heartbreaking for both of them. Like, Oz is we love Oz. Like, we're big Oz fans.
Yes.
And, what happens with him and the, like, werewolf chick is really unfair. And it sucks because it's like he does cheat, but he's also under the influence of, like, werewolf stuff.
100%.
So it's like, it's really hard. I mean, granted, he does things when he's not in, like, wolf form, but at the same time,
changing though.
The
moon is coming.
His
up.
mistake is not talking to Willow about it and not being honest, right? And that's where the dishonesty and the disloyalty comes in. But he's also, like, trying to understand it himself, and they're young, and it's like people make mistakes and stuff. Do I think they could have, like, maybe fixed things? Possibly, but I also, like, totally respect that Oz. Well, like, he leaves because he's like, I need to go and, like, figure my shit out. Like, I just can't handle being, like, a werewolf and being in a relationship and all this stuff, which is fair, right? But then when he comes back...
He's like, I gotta go cameo on Angel.
Does he come back this season?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like episode 18, I think.
So when he comes back...
It's 19.
Like, Willow is really torn I mean,
Yes.
that's like when she basically is like, I've been falling in love with Tara this whole time, but she
That's
still,
the episode where they get together.
yeah, she still holds so much love for Oz, obviously. And they have a really wonderful conversation in the car. Like, I love that scene so much because she's just kind of like, you know, if I see you on the street, like, it's gonna be you, like Oz, like, I'm always gonna feel like connected to you, and basically telling him like, we're not meant for each other right now, but that doesn't mean in the future we couldn't be. Like, we're just not, it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
And they both take it. I mean, you know, obviously Oz gets pretty jealous earlier, but not in an like he would be just as jealous if she was with another guy. So it's not necessarily because she's with a woman or anything. But they both, I don't know. I love them. I still think that they're a wonderful couple, and I'm sad in some ways that like they're not together. But her relationship with Tara is so cute, and Tara is one of my favorite characters. I absolutely love her.
Yeah.
I think she's so beautiful. I love her style and the way she's presented in the show, and how she's so like shy, and love it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tara's great.
Yeah.
Always been a fan of her. I mean, every girl in this show is gorgeous.
Every single one. I mean, they're all just, yeah, such like style icons too.
And we get so is this the season where freaking Harmony comes back?
Yes. So Harmony yes.
becomes like a big like villain. She's like a goofy side bad guy.
She mostly becomes like the villain either at the end of this season or the next one. But yeah, very goofy. Or the beginning of the next one, I mean. Because mostly what we get with Harmony in this season is a lot of her and Spike. Like, we obviously find out, like, she's still alive. She's undead. She got turned into a vampire. And then this whole season, like, with her and Spike, like, Spike is such an asshole to her.
Yeah.
He is so mean to her. And
Terrible.
he's totally just using her. And Harmony is, like, so dumb. And so like,
dumb.
Like, naive. And just, like, it's really sad. I mean, Spike is, like, he's a bad guy. Like, he's not a good guy.
He's a demon.
He's a demon.
Which I think is such an interesting thing, because obviously with Angel's a character who he gets his soul back, and he has the memories of what Angelus did, but he's Angel.
Yeah.
Right? He's the guy that he was when he was, you know, turned back in the day. As to where Spike is still the demon, but he gets this chip in his head that doesn't allow him to attack anyone.
Right.
Anyone human.
Yeah.
Anyone with a soul. How the fuck the chip would be able to differentiate something? Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
That's really stupid. I don't know. But it makes for him to kind of be forced to be a good guy of sorts. He doesn't, but he does. Like, he fights for the right side, but only out of, like, boredom.
Well, yeah, once he finds out that he can, like, attack demons and, like, fight other demons and vampires, then he's, like, excited because he really just wants to be violent. And it's, like, you know, he's been muzzled, basically. I mean, one of the big reasons I love the season is because of how much more Spike gets kind of involved with the crew, so to speak. He's always, like, you know...
Next season where he really
gets in it. But yeah, he gets into it this season, and I like it. Yeah, I think it's interesting, like you said, that he gets the ability to kill innocents taken away from him, but he's still the demon, and kind of what ends up happening with his personality as a result of that.
It's like it domesticates the demon somehow.
Yeah. And yeah, just good stuff with him. Really good stuff. The episode, I keep thinking that this isn't this season, but like when they have when Willow puts a spell on everyone, that's this season, right? That's season 4. When she's like, tells Giles, like, you can't see anything, and he goes blind, and then she's like, what is it? She just marries Spike, and then Buffy and Spike are in love and like planning their wedding. Yeah, that's
she goes and tells Riley, like, oh, I'm engaged.
So
and then
great. He's like, what?
To an older man. He's like, how old? He's like, well, not as old as my last boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And he's like, what? And then later she comes back to him after the spell's broken and is like, oh, that was just a test. I was just kidding. And I was like, bro. What do you think about Riley? What are your feelings on Riley?
So I do like Riley. He's not my, like, I just kind of, him and Buffy, they both want each other in, like, a normal way.
Yeah.
At different times, right? And they just are not that for each other. Like, they end up working for a while because obviously Riley is a part of the initiative and is aware of demons, and they can do the whole boyfriend-girlfriend going to work thing, right? But on the other hand, there's also still this current underneath of, like, Buffy's always going to be stronger than him. She always has, like, she has a sacred duty to protect people. And Riley still wants to protect people, but it is, like, a difference, right? Like, their sense of, like, why they do it. Although I do think that Riley, does it for the right reasons, for the most part. There's definitely things that happen later on where he's, like, not doing them for the right reasons. But, anyway, but I like Riley, though. I think that they have some good, I think that the actors, like, I think there's good chemistry between them on screen for the most part. And I feel like he's kind of, like, you want him to work because he is such a good guy. And it's, like, but it just doesn't. It just really doesn't work out. But I think he's handsome, Like, he's very, like, every time I think of Riley, it really is just, like, the all-American, like, boy.
Yeah.
Like, he's from Iowa. Like, he just seems like a good Christian lad.
Yeah, I think much like regular people in regular life, like, you date someone who's totally insane and have this really wild relationship with them, tumultuous ups and downs, all this stuff. And when you get out of that, you look for the safest bet imaginable, right?
Yeah.
Like, my dad did that with my mom, and then his next wife was like, the very, very safe option. But with that comes a lot of disappointment because, that's not ultimately really what she wants. It's just what she thinks she needs.
Well, and I don't know if it's this season or next, so forgive me, but Riley has this moment with Xander where he tells him, like...
She's not in love with him.
I think it's next season.
I think it's next season.
But, like, I do feel like they set the grounds for that here in a lot of ways. But, yeah, I like what happens with their relationship, though. Like, I do think that, like, I like the drama and stuff that gets set up with it. And, yeah.
Yeah, and then, as I alluded to earlier...
that's my favorite. The the cup, the, like, scene where they have, like, Spike, and they're giving him blood out of the Kiss the Librarian cup, and he's, like, and, like, glaring at them. Love it.
She's just in love with Spike. Yeah, I mean, Hush is the big episode of the show. Probably the most famous episode of the series. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
I mean, it holds up super well. So good. It's very creepy. I wish more episodes felt like this.
Yeah, they definitely don't have nearly as many. The show leans a lot more into the, like, kind of wacky. And even the stuff that's, like, serious doesn't feel as scary. Whereas this episode is, like, pure horror. Like, it's... I mean, there's some comedy stuff, of course. Like, with Xander and whatever. But, like, everything with the gentleman, so creepy. The way they look, the way they move, the fact that they're, like...
lackeys.
They're lackeys. All of it is so good. So good. Yeah.
There's some really funny stuff in here too. I think it's Anya, or no, is it Giles? Who's doing the, like? Oh, it's Buffy.
Buffy.
She's like,
when they're, like, at the college, and for some reason Giles has, like, this like little presentation, and he plays music, and he's like, the gentlemen, like, what do they want? Like, how do we fight them? And she's like stab. And they're like...
They all think she's jerking them off. There's all sorts of humor like that in this. Really funny stuff, good stuff. But watching it with my 12-year-old daughter, sometimes I'm always like, oh boy. their mom's gonna see this stuff and kill me. But yeah, I mean, what's to say about that episode that hasn't been said? It's phenomenal. I mean, the makeup effects and all that stuff in that episode are top tier. I mean, they hold up. They look like anything you would see today. So
and the ending is so great because that's like they are trying to like Riley and Buffy like need to talk to each other, but then they just like after they get their voices back, like they still can't talk, and they're just like silent with each other. Yeah, and I really love that.
Yeah, it's a good wrap up for like what's going on in their relationship and putting it in there. Like I do like that every episode has a payoff to something in it. Nothing ever feels like pure filler, like nothing happens towards character development or moving the story forward in one way or the other. Everything feels like it has purpose. Yeah. And even if it's small, even if it's just like 99% of the episode is cool and you may never hear about it again or it might not have a huge impact, there's always going to be one moment, something, or if it doesn't, then later they'll bring it up. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I adore that. Yeah. About this show. And then the episode where Giles gets turned into a demon.
Really fun.
That's fun. Now the one big thing, I mean, we're big glaring thing we're missing here, of course, is the big bad of the season, which is Adam. Yeah. Funny enough, this is the guy I thought that she shot with the rocket launcher.
They're kind of similar looking, so I get it.
The judge and him, I don't know about that, but
they're both like big, bulky, like.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. So as far as Adam goes, him being like Frankenstein's monster. I mean, I don't know how you can't make the comparison. It's kind of the Terminator meets Frankenstein's monster. Right? If you were to put them together, you'd have Adam. I think like philosophically, Adam is a very interesting villain. Like I like it. His makeup and whatnot. Part of me likes it, and part of me finds it kind of hokey. Like certain parts of it, I think look kind of cool, and then other parts of it, I'm like, that's pretty stupid looking. Overall, I'm mixed on Adam as a villain, but I do like what they were going with him. I like this kind of like, it's just it's Frankenstein's monster with more of a brain. More of like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro or something, where he's more thoughtful and intelligent, right? Yeah. As to where Frankenstein's monster in the original 31 movie, he's kind of just an idiot. His brain doesn't really work all that much. I don't know about the sequels. I don't think I've watched almost any except for Bride, and I don't remember how he is in that, but I do remember him in the first film, and he's kind of a lumbering like goon for the most part. Like he has some humanity to him. He has some understanding of things. But like Adam is like more human than human, right? He's more brilliant than anybody. He has like a fucking like he's like got like a traveling matrix freaking port in his chest where he can just take information and pop it in and learn anything. So he's brilliant, right? And he's creating this army, and I what do you think about him?
I think he's fine. I mean, I think he like makes sense as a villain this season because of the tie-in with the Initiative, and because like ultimately the government's always going to be doing something awful. So of course they're trying to study the demons to like make some kind of super soldier thing, and I like that it backfires. Obviously, I don't know why I'm blanking on her name, but Riley's mom, Professor. Doctor, whatever her name is, I'm totally blanking on it, which is crazy.
Whatever it is.
Anyway, I like that it backfires on her because she tries to get Buffy killed because she's like watching Riley and her like secretly in like she's got cameras installed in his bedroom and shit. Anyway, she gets killed by Adam, obviously, and he brings her back as like a zombie thing to like use as his
Maggie Walsh.
Maggie Walsh, Professor Walsh. I like that. I mean, he's fine for me. I don't mind the way he looks, and yeah.
We've also got Faith coming out of her coma,
Yes.
switching bodies with Buffy. This was a gift to her by the mayor, and he gives her a device that switches their bodies, and the Order comes and takes Faith away, but it's Buffy inside of her, and there's a big showdown there.
We watched this episode, spoilers for the new Wednesday season, by the way. But it was funny because we watched this episode right after we watched one of the episodes from the new Wednesday, where Wednesday and what's her name? Her friend, her roommate.
I meant to say it, and then I was like, it's not Ingrid.
It's not.
Isn't it Ingrid? No, it isn't.
They body swap.
Isn't it?
And
no, it's freaking Enid, right?
Enid.
Yeah.
Okay, Enid and Wednesday body swap, and it's a really fun episode of that season, and it was really cool to see the two actresses playing those roles because they're so different from what their normal characters are.
God,
and it was great. They did an amazing job.
They're so fucking like the same. Like, yeah, the
They-
way that what is her name? Emma Myers plays
Oh my god.
Wednesday in that episode was pretty spot on.
It was fantastic. And then of course seeing Wednesday Enid doing it was great. Anyway,
Yeah.
so so it was funny because we watched that episode and then we watched this episode in Buffy where Faith and Buffy swap bodies, and it definitely wasn't nearly as stark of a difference, but that's to be expected because I feel like the characters in Wednesday are so like caricatures almost, like they're just very polar opposite, whereas Buffy and Faith are not that different from each other, even though they are. But I still like the performances.
I think there's some good moments with them.
There is some really good moments
where they're both doing each other pretty well.
Yeah. And Faith, like, in Buffy's body, like, totally, like, kind of comes onto Spike, which I always remember, because she, like...
That plants the seed.
It does. She, like, tells him that she could, like, ride him until he popped, and that she's got muscles he doesn't even dream of, and all this shit, and he's like, what?
Yeah, man.
And I always remember that by being like, dang, that's crazy.
He always remembers that, too.
Yeah, he's like, I never thought of it like that.
It's like, I've been killing him this whole time. I should have been banging him.
Yeah. And then, also kind of just jumping back, like, Willow throughout this season. Obviously, her introduction to Tara is through this Wicca group that she joins with these, like, college Wiccans, and I really like that. There's a scene where they're kind of, like, all these young college girls are talking about, like, love and light and, like, Wicca and whatever, and Willow's like, okay, we should do, like, an actual spell. Like, let's do spells. We're here to do magic, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not going to do any of that, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, just more, she starts to get more and more powerful with her magic, which is great, and will be very relevant very soon.
Yes.
But she definitely she starts helping out more and more, and I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, the episode Fear Itself, that's the one with Riley and Buffy fucking the entire episode, which was funny to watch with my kids.
But we just joked the whole time.
That's the one I remember just very specifically for the demon being like 1 inch tall, and then Giles at the end being like...
that's not Fear Itself. That's in actual size. Fear Itself.
Oh, actual size? Wait, what? Is that not the episode?
You're talking... Okay, so there are 2 different episodes. The one that you're talking about is the Halloween episode.
This is the Halloween episode. Fear Itself. On Halloween, Buffy and her
That's
friends
not the one
find
where
themselves
her
trapped
and...
inside a haunted frat house complete with real bats, zombies, and
that one
terrifying.
is
That's
different from the one where Riley and Buffy are trapped in a room having sex. It is when they're in a frat house, but remember that episode we were very confused on because it was like the frat house used to be run by like a lady who like an orphanage or something, and she was super religious.
Such a weird episode.
That's a totally different one.
That's a lame episode.
This episode, Fear Itself, this is a really fun one.
This is
great.
This is one of my favorites. Hush is better, of course, but I think this is a really good episode. And then the ending with him being like this,
so good.
And then Giles is like the one thing I missed, actual size, and I remember all of that so well.
Yeah, I always love Halloween stuff where either this is a good pairing with the episode where their costumes they turn into their costumes. Instead, in this, it's like the actual the Halloween decorations become real. I like that a lot. And that episode is also where we find out that Anya, like, it's like kind of the beginning of Anya and Xander's relationship, and so he like invites her kind of begrudgingly, I guess, and tells her to dress as something scary, and she shows up in like a bunny outfit costume, because she's like terrified of bunnies. That's which is funny. Awesome.
Where the Wild Things Are is the love-making episode.
Yeah, that one's very confusing.
Very confusing. I don't understand this. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it for an hour or anything, but yeah, I that one was, I don't understand that one. It's about like repression because of some like house mother that was, beating the kids for having any kind of like sexuality, or it was, I don't know why the energies in the house with the ghosts and the drowning and like all that stuff. I was like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah.
So
it's very confusing.
That is probably the worst episode of this season. And then we have that Jonathan episode where everyone thinks he's the coolest.
One's so fun. That is such a fun episode. It's very much like the episode in X-Files in the in the new season with. I always forget. We forget his name, but there's like an extra
guy who's been there the whole time.
And
my kids always remember his name.
It's super fun. But that's the same thing with this Jonathan episode, and I just love it. Everyone's like obsessed with him, and he's
he makes himself into the opening credits.
He's so good. He's like a genius, like billionaire, movie star, freaking philanthropist, James Bond dude, and Buffy's like, we gotta go talk to him. Like, so good. So good.
Yeah, it's funny.
Anya's like obsessed with him.
It's funny though because it's like there's so many hints, right, at his eventual downfall.
Yeah.
Because he has the episode where he's has a rifle up in the bell tower, really and then dark. He also like uses a spell on the town to make everyone like him. Like this is all cries for help.
100%.
And
100%.
What ends up happening later now. I was told by someone in the comments, and I was pretty surprised by that, because that's who I thought was the one who did it. But I guess supposedly it's one of the other two. Like he gets in cahoots with like this. They become a trio of like little mini villains to Buffy. They're like the antithetical freaking lone gunman, right? But they suppose because I kept saying like, oh, Jonathan's the one that does the big bad thing that happens to Willow, but somebody in the comments was like, no, it's one of the other guys, and I was like, really? I thought it was Jonathan that did that.
I don't remember who does it specifically. I just remember like that it happened.
He's there. It's one of him and his friends.
For sure.
I thought it was him that fired the gun, but I guess not. They said not, and I'm like, oh, really?
Probably
so
right.
I'm super curious to watch that scene again because I'm not happy about that season moment because that is the fucking worst moment of the entire show. Not in a bad way. It's like story wise, it's cool, and I like risks, but I hate that because of course I love this person. I'm very curious on how the girls are going to react to it. How I'm gonna react to it, where we're at. Like I remember the moment very well. They're in Buffy's room, aren't they?
I think so.
And they're having like a really tender moment.
They might be in their room actually, but yeah. It's funny too because like we were talking about the whole kissing thing, and there's a moment in this later season where they're like straight up like having sex. Like they, Tara and Willow. Like Tara like is going down on Willow. Like they don't obviously nothing is like shown, but it's like they like show like Willow like having an orgasm, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm like
I think you fucking
not remembering that. Like I have a very vivid memory of that happening in a later season where they like have like a sex moment.
No. They have no sex in this. The only thing that happens is like
I don't know. We'll see if anyone else remembers that.
I'm not saying they don't have sex in the show. I'm saying they didn't have sex in the season.
Not in this
that we see.
No, not in this season. In an upcoming season.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
In an
That hasn't
upcoming
happened.
season.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure
no, they don't do anything in this season.
I was gonna say they haven't even kissed in this fucking
No,
show
God,
yet.
yeah.
They alluded to them. So like in season 5 is really one of the only times where they like kind of outright come out, and it's like when the order shows up and Willow's being interrogated, and she's like, "We're lesbians, okay? We're real hot.
We're girlfriends." Yeah.
That's like one of the only times where they like really explicitly lay it out, like in case anyone's confused on what's happening here.
Yeah.
We are a gay couple. And yeah, I guess last thing we'll say here, for me anyway, is the way Buffy and others, but especially Buffy, handles the news of Willow's like coming out.
It's very of the times. Yeah. I mean, she has she's this
like,
kind of where she's like, "Are you sure?" Like, what? And then she's kind of like freaking out about it. But then she's like, "It doesn't matter. Like, I love you and I support you and accept you as who you are."
Which
and
I think
really
is kind of important, right?
It is.
Because that's how people would react
100%.
And them overcoming it and accepting it is important.
I agree. That's not like what we expect now. Like, obviously in 2025, if somebody's like, "I'm gay," you don't really expect the reaction
Everyone's
of like,
okay,
"Oh, like, wait, really? Like, does that mean you like me?"
Right.
But in the 90s and early 2000s, 100%, somebody coming out.
It's like, so every time we've hugged, you've gotten wet?
Yeah, and also, like, you know, girls, well, also because, like, girls, like, they just, like, sleep in the same bed, they'll shower together, they'll do all kinds of things. So
You've
it's
seen my tits.
Yeah, sure. So there's that element that is definitely a part of history. And, but I think that Buffy, like, she accepts her very quickly. Like, that moment of her being kind of, like, maybe weirded out is, like, seconds. And then she's immediately like, "I accept you." And those fears, though, of Willow being accepted by her friends, it shows up later, like when Spike kind of starts like planting seeds. I don't remember if that's this season, so I apologize. There's a lot of that in this review, but you know, he kind of starts planting seeds that like they're talking about her and like not accepting her or whatever, right? And Xander's, of course, reaction is kind of the like very awkward at first, or he's kind of like, "Oh, I can't talk about that, like I don't know anything about that," but then he's like, "I want to see them having sex and like kissing," like, which is very funny and very like a very Xander thing, of course. Like, even though he has Anya and everything, but
I think that like honestly, the person who takes it kind of the worst, and I mean, it's fine. Like, everyone's allowed to have their reaction or whatever, but of course, it's gonna make me like you a tiny little bit less. Is Giles. When he's like drunk and he hears about it and he's like, "Oh God."
I think he's like just drunk and is like, "What else can I find out about?"
He's over it.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't take any more information.
No, Giles is supportive of all of them, but he's also supposed to be this like, stuffy British guy. Even though he's become quite American, and they like to joke about his unemployment and everything this whole season.
Well, he gets that rectified in the new season.
Yes,
after
definitely.
this, anyway. Not
Love
the
that.
new season.
Yeah, season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then we talked about that stuff. And then what was this last episode? The last episode was kind of weird because they like defeated Adam.
Very interesting. They like merged their consciousness too in the defeat of Adam. It's like Willow, Xander, Giles, and Buffy like somehow.
Oh, this is the one. Oh, sure. I'm talking about the last episode though, where Buffy's like going in these dreams and she's like communicating with the first Slayer.
I love that episode, actually. That's one that I always have remembered, where all of them are dreaming, and there's like a callback to, because they're like, they defeat Adam, they're all like really exhausted because they like, the way they defeat Adam is by merging their consciousness, but then also like summoning like the power, all the power of the Slayer, like the primal power. And then they like go to Buffy's house and they all like kind of conk out because they're exhausted, and they all have sort of shared dreams.
Yeah.
And there's a callback to Willow's dream.
They're watching
that they
Apocalypse Now,
right? With Willow, when she like is on stage, like isn't supposed to sing like opera, like there's like a whole like another stage thing with Willow. And then obviously Xander's dream is funny because he's like driving an ice cream truck and Willow and Tara are in the back like being all sexy and like distracting him. And Yeah, but I always remembered that. I don't know. There's also, like, the opening, we were almost, both of us were like, this is David Lynch, because there's, like, these red curtains that Willow's going through, very Black Lodge, Twin Peaks, like...
And Joss Whedon
and
claims
the
he
man
had
with the
no,
cheese.
Yeah, Joss Whedon claims he had no inspiration from Twin Peaks with the red curtains.
I call bullshit, bro.
And he also said that...
You're gonna tell me you're gonna have a dream episode of your TV show with red curtains and, like, wacky surrealist stuff, and not tell me that you weren't inspired by David Lynch, who is, like, the king of dreams in TV shows and film?
Yeah, no,
Come on.
I agree. I think it's total nonsense. 100% he was, like, ripping off Twin Peaks. Because if he doesn't admit it, then it's just a ripoff,
100.
right? Like,
Just
it's,
be like,
it's
yeah.
only an homage when you admit it.
Right.
But he also said that, I don't know if I can, trust anything he says now, but regardless, he said that, throughout the time, there's a lot of, like, different interpretations, and that there are actual valid interpretations of everything in the episode. The only thing that isn't interpretable, because he purposely made it pure nonsense, is the cheese guy.
Yeah, the cheese guy's really funny,
He said
though.
that the point of that is that in every dream you have, there's always this nonsense thing that makes no sense and has no meaning and is just there, and you always think about it like, why did I have that part? Like, that's so fucking weird and random.
I think it's...
And the cheese guy is that.
Yes, I think that's all very obvious, and I think it's also super obvious, like, the interpretations of all of their dreams and where their characters are at in the show at that time.
That's where we get Spike as, like, the model who's posing.
Yeah.
In black and white.
Well, Giles has, like, that, and he has that whole, this is Xander, where, like, Giles and Spike and Buffy are on a playground, and Buffy has, like, pigtails, and is, like, the little girl, and Giles is Spike's father, because they're British, and they're talking, like, all this stuff to me feels very obvious of, like, that's, like, what the characters are, like, feeling about each other and such, but, yeah, I love that episode. I always think about that episode. Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah. And then, as you had said, the way they defeat Adam is by, like, combining their consciousnesses and giving all of their strengths to Buffy, so she becomes, like, fucking, some...
She's like a god for a second.
She's like a, what the hell are those things called? What's that thing called? Zord? No. It's the Megazord. Yeah, Megazord from Power Rangers. When they all come together into that big thing.
Yeah.
That's
kind of how she is.
Yeah, it reminded me
She
of
can,
that.
like, when she's straight up, like, Matrix stops, like, the bullets and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Very funny.
Becomes Neo.
Yeah.
And this is... Oh, that's actually funny, because this is...
There he is, ripping off.
2000, right? This is literally the year after The Matrix.
Ripping off Twin Peaks, ripping off The Matrix.
That's funny. I didn't even think of that.
Come on. We see the influences.
I would just think this was before, but it's not. This is after the first Matrix movie, and that's when
Makes
Neo
sense.
stops the bullets in the hallway. Oh yeah, 100%. He stole that from there. That's funny.
Yeah. So.
Fucking rip-off artist piece of shit.
Anyway,
doesn't even know what a bisexual is.
Bro, come on. This is, I like this season quite a bit. I don't know. There's a lot of memorable episodes for me.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said it's my least favorite episode.
I know. I don't know if it's my least favorite. I don't feel like I have a least favorite right now. They kind of just keep getting better and better. No, I'm not gonna do it.
If they keep getting better and better, then it's
fine.
the first season.
No, okay, never mind. They all are wonderful in their own ways. They're all equally good.
The first season is half the length.
That's true. No, you're not gonna make me pick.
She hits me.
No, I don't.
She beats me. Anyway, that's that. Buffy season 4. What did we miss? What did we fuck up? What do we not right on?
What are your favorite episodes?
What are you looking forward to for season 5 and beyond?
Yes.
Our kids haven't been home in a while.
So we've been on a little Buffy hiatus.
So we've been on a hiatus, and we probably won't record it for another month or two anyway.
But we will try to record it sooner.
This is how we should have done X-Files.
100%.
Oops.
We killed ourselves trying to do each episode.
We killed the channel.
We killed the channel. Sorry. But there was people that were liking it, so if you're one of those people, I'm sorry. We should have done it like this. Maybe one day we can always do like if we ever get a podcast, we'll go back and be like X-Files. Not like rewatch it, but just talk about them. No?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I tried.
No. I wouldn't have memory of half the episodes.
No, I don't mean well, okay, whatever.
That's that.
Bye.
Bye.